Dear viewer, thank you so much for always loving us and watching Nexus Youth Initiative programs. And today, we're taking you through a journey that you need to understand a number of things that are affecting our education system. And the question has been, why are the girls performing better than boys? A number of challenges, factors that are affecting performances in school, and which we're here today to tackle. And with me, I have very distinguished guests. I'm starting from my right. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us your name and possibly what you do.
I'm called Esther Stella. Actually, I did teaching. I'm a teacher.
Oh, a teacher by
But right
profession.
now, I work in a garage as I do spraying.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. From being a teacher to a garage, it's interesting. Thank you. You're most welcome, gentlemen. Tell
Thank
us
you
your
so
name.
much. My name is Leonard Philip Anyanzo, but popularly known as Anjonad. And I do very many things. But to be very simple, I'm an event organizer, I'm a content creator, and apparently I'm a businessman. I do business.
Proudly say
Yes.
he's a businessman. So, those are our guests for this podcast today. My name is Simon Living. I'm your host. Let's now get started. So, we've seen our students' performance from last year, and we're already in the second term of, of the education calendar. But you realize the girls are performing way better than the boys. So my question is, where is the challenge?
It's an amazing question. And it's really beautiful talking about this because we've all gone to school
True.
and we've been part of all these challenges from school. But I think from my own view or from what I'm seeing is happening in this world apparently or in our region or my sub-region is there are a number of points, but let me tackle a few that I see happen. One big one is focus on the girl child education, neglecting the boy child. You've seen a number of projects that are initiated by the government,
Some
NGOs, the CBOs, that's really tackle the girl child education. And this leaves out the boy child to a level of no focus.
Okay.
So in that state, you realize even in the classes, teachers pay attention or they pay attention to the girl child than the boys. Their concentration is because there's a target to all this. So when you look around this basically gives a heavy weight for girls going past the boys, and that's one of the biggest reasons that contributes to girls performing, because initially during our time and back then boys used to overperform. Like in the class you realize 70% performances, and then girls will be lying down here, and then later on the government say like, it's okay, let's also look at the girls. And apparently the world's direction is towards elevating the dreams of the girl child.
So you think the boys are not
Paid
equipped
attention to
enough? They're not guided enough. There's so much focus
on the girls.
given to the girl child, and then they've neglected the boy child. They're not giving them time, and I must somehow agree that it could possibly affect the boy child. Now, Mr. Nad, I was once told that it is easier to advise or engage girls than the boys. So could it be also one of the reasons that the girls have, the constant reminder that you need to do this? Could it be the reason why they're performing better? Because
Yes,
the parental guidance
that
is...
that takes me to the second point, which is about discipline. When you go to schools, you realize most girls are disciplined. You see, so when there's discipline, there's performance. There's high level of listenership. A teacher tells you to do this, and then you do it. It takes you to another level. So it is easier engaging the girls than the boys because we have seen very many times they've been stubborn in schools.
True.
They are told to do this, and then they turn the other way around to do something negative. So discipline in school will get you to a level where you can do better. So most girls in school today are very disciplined compared to the boys, and that's why it is giving more chances for the ladies to outcompete the boys. Yes, and another point that I would love to connect with that is from being disciplined or being in discipline. Apparently, it has waved most boys off school, and that has taken them to bad elements like drug abuse. And when you look at the number of school age going uh, boys, you realize a lot of them pay attention to these dubious acts, which girls don't do. On a scale of 1 to 10, you will hardly get even 1% of girls doing drugs
So
in school.
yes, and that also, apart from the discipline that I should have guided the boys more. What about the religious aspect of it? Because in some homes, back then, we were forced to make sure that every Sunday we don't miss church service.
Yes.
I don't know if it is the same scenario for some parents, because if people are living anyhow, so they will be tempted in so many, I think. So I want you to maybe give us, how does religious also help in shaping the boy child, that could lead or propel to better results or performance?
God is the beginning of wisdom. So, if you fear God, even if you're going to other acts, you know that because we know that God is everywhere, even if in darkness. And most of these things we do them in darkness. So you feel you're safe, no one is seeing me. But if you have that fear in you that God's eyes can see through the darkness, you find that you can control your own self. But if you don't have that fear, nowadays we say God does not exist. These are just nature things. This is science. This is that. So if you have those things in your mind that you believe God does not exist, you feel everything just happened because of coincidence, or it was meant to happen.
Okay.
So you find yourself, people just mess up like that.
That's
you say
true.
that today's Friday, I have to boost, tomorrow I have to. They say, because they have some guys in the garage there, they say, the little one you get, spend it today, you don't know tomorrow. So with
joengoni
Engore.
joengoni zonyeswendro kwale nyebupea.
I don't believe in that spirit. It's very misleading, but people use that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we're still talking about the factors that are affecting the boys in school. How about the exposure to could be pornographic pictures, to internet? How has it also affected the performance?
Yeah, I think today, before I go to the pornographic element of it, why don't I be directional to begin from boy child or girl child? I mean boy child relationship, because that's where it now slip off from that side. Yes, I think today, if you're to look at the generation now, somebody who is even 12 years can start a relationship.
Okay.
Are you aware?
So is it a change in exposure?
I'm coming to that point, but I think this generational changes do affect. But when you look at right now, you realize, because sometimes I take some time to go to the happening places, and I find very little girls in discos, and this is supposed to be school. They're supposed to be in school, or they're supposed to be reading or doing homework or doing other things. And then you
Just
find
to
them-
interject, do they still escape from home, or some of the parents are aware that their children these days are attending to discourse?
they are not. They're not. Others are aware. Others are not aware. Actually, others are aware. Others are not
So
aware.
do we say at a higher percentage that the school-going children have become unruly?
Not all of them. To some families, now that becomes a family issue.
Because if the percentage of a drop in performance is high, then it goes back to the school, whatever the impacting on the on the school going students, and back home on the parenting side, because these two have to move hand in
Yes,
hand.
yes, they are moving hand in hand, but I am not here to accept that it's entirely every family doing that. So my submission is yes, there are some negligences from other families that I need to curtail, but the direction to this very conversation is where I'm drifting us to. I want us to be very to the point. Like I accept that they come and it's the negligence of the family and that becomes a family issue. But what I need us to look at is I accept what you've said and you personally know, and even she understands this. This is what happens, right? But my point here is these things happen right now in a bigger perspectives than back then. I think during our time, going to or starting to go for discourse is when you finish senior four at a certain level, or when you reach senior. Because during my time, there were people who were 28, 29 that I sat P7 with.
28.
Yes.
We're older.
So you realize it takes some time for someone to go to these happening places. And today, you see a lot of these young people, and that connects to the relationship. Because if you're exposed, you're given the liberty to move however how you want. Definitely, you'll start relationship. So the generation now start relationship at a very tender age. Somebody at 12, 13 he talks about relationship. You'll be like, this person is in senior one and he's telling you she is on the phone talking to the boyfriend.
Okay, at what age did you start did you start dating?
Dating. I was 17.
17 years. Quite understandable, because
And
you could be
17,
only,
she was in senior. I could.
Yeah.
yeah,
17,
so
she
you
was in
could be
senior.
only counting some months to really become fully an adult. There was still at that age there are a lot of misguidance, that so one needs to be guided.
Yeah.
Well, if we talk about the high rate of also dropouts, because when you check on the percentage, 54% of girls performed way better last year,
Yeah.
okay, than the boys, because there was a report that once the boys reach senior 4-3, they drop out, but the girls still continue on the journey until they get to a higher level.
Why do you think they drop out?
So that's why we were looking at all
Yes.
the factors.
Yes.
Okay, we were looking at all the factors. It could be whatever reason it is.
Yes.
My neighbor who had a son dropped out in senior 3 because the boy had learned how to ride
Border.
a motorbike. So he felt like,
There's an option.
yes, he's getting money. So he didn't see a reason why he should continue going to school.
Yeah.
Okay, that is just a simple example.
True.
But if the guidance from the parents are way better of telling someone that with education you can have way too much once you finish, I think we shall not be talking about the same thing. It could be on the lower percentage next time,
Yeah.
because we have already the higher, going people and achieving whatever they have to achieve. Now, another question. Do we still believe that whatever is being taught to all the students is effective?
Uh, like they say, even in classes,
Mm.
teachers give 70%, and then the 30% is in the hands of the students, right? So,
So who's supposed to give the 30%? If it is okay, the student, well, who is supposed to add on that 30%?
it's you. It's you, the student.
It doesn't bring in the family of the parents,
The
guidance,
the
and
the,
all
the,
that.
the 30%, when you look at students now,
Mm.
being a student, you're supposed to be a researcher yourself. You're supposed to be guided by your parents or people that take care of you. You are supposed to have the circle that will support your performances. So that all sums out to the 30%. But that is through you. It is through you. So even if your parents tells you this and you don't do that,
Mm.
that does not come to the 30% because that remains with you. It has to come through you
Mm.
and add up to the 70% given by the teachers.
Mm.
So I would answer that question in a way that the teachers give their entire work, like their time and everything, and sometimes it's not with every teacher. There are teachers who also fail in their own duties, but that should be like a reminder. But to a bigger perspective, when we're talking about this, I believe teachers also pay, like they work hard to achieving these goals,
Mm.
and then it's now upon the students to make this work.
Okay.
So I believe yes, they do it.
Yes. D- One question. We have government schools and private schools, but time to time, when you check on the graph and all the assessments, the grades, you realize that the private schools are perform way, way, way better than the government schools. What should be done to improve government schools' performance?
Okay. To me, you find in government aided schools
Mm.
what the teachers know that at the end of the month I'm going to get my salary. There's no much supervision of them. But in the private schools, you find that the head teachers, the DOS, and even the bazaar, make sure the money is going to give you as your salary. You work for it. They check schemes of work, they check your lesson plan, they check the time you arrive at school, they check everything. So you find them, they are active and with their children. But in government school, where they know, even if, as long as she has gone to school and has registered that I was present, even if he enters in the class just for 20 minutes and comes out, she has done what? He or she has entered in the class. So that's how I see it affects the what? The performance of government aided schools.
Yes. Do you have any other perception or
To her contribution,
Mm.
the things are just primary because we see them, and I think if I might add, it would just be a phone call away idea. So private, secondary. One is a business entity. One is, you know, to some extent, doesn't really care much because they say I'm a government worker.
So they
I
also
do-
brag.
They do. They do. Because just the way she said, the private sector are monitored under the government. Even if there are those who have been who came to like drunk in class. I've been entirely in government school, and I've witnessed that. Sorry to mention this on the TV, but yes, that happens.
Teachers coming on duties while drunk. And
In my time, I'm not saying right now, but yeah, that's happened.
it could be there because there may be no much difference. If you just left, let's say it's been 7 years since you left secondary school. So
It's more than that.
yes, even if it's more than 7 years, but
Yes.
nothing. Okay,
Nothing changes
discipline,
much.
yes,
Yes,
because
it is.
discipline. We've seen so many stories. There
Yeah,
was in Yumbe a teacher who came on
drunk
duty
in class.
drunk,
Yeah,
and then the pupils actually refused
to attend.
to attend that. So is smelling alcohol. So smelling alcohol. It has been happening. There are so many stories
Yeah.
regarding that. Well, since we've looked so much on some of the factors that are affecting, why can't we now look at the solutions? What should be done?
I think. Let me give a rough point that I didn't finish on. Like when you asked me about the challenges that affect the performances of boys than girls right now, I was giving you about points. So there are points that I didn't really bring out.
Okay, you
Yes,
can highlight
yes,
that.
yes. One is I did just a small touch about family responsibilities. Uh, you see, today in families, there are most families that start looking at a man or a boy like a man from a tender age. Like myself being a firstborn, my family will look at me as a man before I become a man, and looking at me as a man means that I need to work hard to even achieve certain things. There are people who have paid their own school fees, so it becomes very hard as a young man, as a young boy, being looked at as a man to start taking responsibilities, and then that affects their performance in class so much. Second point is about parenting issues. Today, when you go to most of the homes, you realize mainly the extended families. You realize the number of girls, the number of boys, and then these boys are all put together in a way that girls are more cared for. You see, they buy for you your they buy for you your pajamas, your sanitary, sanitary pads and all those things or requirements that are given to you, and then the boys are looked at and say, I think you guys are boys, you can be without it. So you realize someone going to P345 without underwears, and the girls have underwears, makes them feel they should run out of school because now my father is not giving me underwear because he's saying I am a man. But for a girl, she needs to be protected. You see? So these simple things that we look here make the boys feel isolated, disregarded, and then yeah, they make them feel out. Yes, the boy child thing that I did hint, and we were drafted away by the disco issue because the girl child, you see, girls are naturally weak people, and the boys are naturally too advantaged than the girls. Right now, if I'm to go back to school and she happens to be my girlfriend, and then I make her pregnant, there's a way that automatically affects her performance. Even if she remains at school, it's going to automatically affect her performances. For me, I'm a boy. I'm naturally not affected because if I make her pregnant, there's no change on me. But there's automatic change on her that affects her normal being, mental, and this all will get you from where you're concentrating in class to paying attention to yourself or worrying about your own self. So I think that and more related affect the girl child too. You talked about the border guy. You talk about the border. It's an option to many people right now. Because I think if there's a border I've only seen one woman in Madeline who operated border. She started a stage at Awindere. Her name is called Matia. When we were still, kids. But right now she left, and I think she's in a better position. Yeah. I think apart from her, I've never seen any female bodybuilder. So boys take this as another route.
But we have a mechanic here, so
Yeah, but mechanic, you're supposed to go to school. Do you think is there any course in Uganda that needs you to study border and then you
no,
it's not there.
but you see also with guidance, you're supposed to have gone through the riding course.
No.
So that-
There's actually, if you're to look at riders in Najuma, forget about the borders. Nobody knows the riding procedures here. You see how they are wrongly using the roads here. That's why there is a lot of accident here. Nobody knows how to use the road. They know how to use the bike, but they don't know how to use the road. So the boys here today take border as another avenue to take shortcut to life. That's it. And education being the longest route, because with education, you first have to accumulate the knowledge in you before you get it out. So it takes time. And a lot of these boys do not want to sit in class and wait. And the girls are patient. Today they are very patient. They can sit and wait and come out and speak better English like she's doing. You see that?
Well, listen now. Thank you so much. Those were very good examples. If you're watching, this is Nexus Youth Initiative Uganda. Thank you so much. If you're viewing this podcast, you're watching Nexus Youth Initiative podcast. And like I said, I have my visitors here. We've been really taking a lot of stuff. And now, let's first look at the solutions. What should be done? I'm being told that a number of parents, they prefer to send their children to low-paying schools, especially because they know after that, as long as the children have gone to school, the performance bit of it, they don't care. And find out from you, what do you think should be done?
Okay. To me, if we see the parental part of it, you find that in a family, like maybe there are two kids. There's a girl, there's a boy. And for this girl, she wakes up in the morning, sweep the compound, wash utensils, mop house. It keeps her busy. But for the boy, only gets busy when they're going to go in the garden. Or they're slashing the compound once in a while. Most her times just to go and play. Can even move like good kilometers. Or can go in the morning and come back in the evening just to go and relax. Has nothing to do, of course.
True.
They have nothing to do. So they go there and meet different kind of people. So you find they're exposed to different kind of lives faster than the ladies. And so the boys are left free. So that's why you see boy child is really suffering. And now you find time at sending them to school, be like, let me send my girl because she's always doing what? She's helping me here at home. They take her to the better school because of the good things she's doing what? At home. But forgetting that put that boy, like he's a boy. He's not supposed to wash utensils. He's not supposed to mop the house. They forgot it was their mistake of bringing the boy like that. And they end up like this one, I'm not going to spoil my school fees on him. He knows only how to play. When it was your fault from the beginning, with the parents, sometimes we forget that.
So do we say also parents have too much love shown to some of the kids? Because if you don't show command and then power to, put your kids in line, there will be a problem in future.
To me, it's not too much love, but the way, I don't know whether it's culture.
But
it's
there
the
is too much love.
There's
It's
too
not
much
too
love.
much love.
We need to accept
because
this.
we say that boys, they know that boys are not supposed to do what? Boys are not supposed to wash
I've
utensils.
seen,
So
I've
it's
seen,
a boy.
I've seen a lot
That's
of
not
I've seen a lot
love.
of people
It has
getting
changed.
spoiled. I've seen a lot of people getting spoiled
But
because
they
they
are
have
not
been
also
poured
getting
love.
spoiled not because of love.
This is
They are
love.
there because of freedom they give them. They
Listen,
give them too much
listen.
freedom.
I have an example of a neighbor who was taking care of the child in a way that she would visit this boy in high school, but still carry this guy in his in Kunzi Adriga, and then pour this girl with extra love on go. Erita ado barana erita endre ajoloriko. The mother listens to the son only, and right now, unfortunately, the mother's passed on. May has already in eternal peace. The boy is out, living, but it's not lost. It's lost direction. That's because it was overpoured love. You see,
if we talk about love, all parents show love for their kids. By the way,
we are talking about that which is too much.
That too much is all over. Yeah,
but it happens. There's when you do too much love, it also affects one's way of seeing life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, they may not take life as serious as it's supposed to be. Life is a very serious thing.
Yeah.
At times, in the other mind, they say live a free life, but life is a very serious.
Have you ever seen a family that they show their children too much love, but still the kids grow up right?
Listen, the point here is we accept that is true, but we are saying overpowering the love that affects the children, because this happens in the community, but it's not a big practice. But it can breed. What we are saying is it happens. We need to accept that. But there are these families which are very very technical, dealing with their children. They pour out the love maximally, which does not affect their performances and well-being.
First, give me an example of that love which can spoil by the poor.
The first love that can overpower is one, when you give children money without direction, like whatever thing they ask, you give them. That is overpowering love. You see, like my mother, when the time I was at school, when you tell her there's money needed, she'll want to investigate, like why, how much money, what for, and all those things there, because she knows the programming. But there are parents who might not mind about whatever their children they're asking. They'll just say, and they play these tricks and be like, "Mommy, they need some money at school," and then she will not mind. She'll just pull out the money and give to the student.
For biology research.
Yes.
Okay, to me, it's not too much love. Sometimes I just think it's the parents who are too busy with their works and they think with their duties.
Well, that is also another good element.
Yeah.
When parents are busy and you don't give time to
that's why the child will say that
to cross-check
Mom,
what
they need this amount of money
your child is doing in school, then that gap also come in. Well, earlier on, he talked about the availability in support for the girl child, and then leaving the boys to do whatever they want to do. Okay, what do you think should be done? What more support should be added? Because he said we've seen so many NGOs who are running girl child projects.
Yes, yeah.
We've seen governments that are running girl child projects. Yeah. So even back in community, the girls are lately way empowered than the boys. Okay, that gives them a very upper hand even to excel in school. That we should never wrap that off.
Yes.
So now, what should be done? Where do you think the boys could be guided, and as well not to be left out?
Actually, to me, like, let me start with this. The scenario which happened to me, I went to work in a camp where we were just spraying a bridge. There's some little boy who came to me. I think that boy was around 14 years old. He phoned me, I was spraying a bridge, and then he was like, "Let's enter under the bridge." And I asked him to do what? That he will also give me. I was like, "Are you sure?" He said yes. Then I looked at him. To me, I'm defiling him. But to him, he's trying to practice that he's a man.
Yeah.
So I looked at him. But he was insisting, by the way. I was like, "Let's enter." By then, when he came, the guys, my co-workers, that moved the distance. So I like, "Let's hurry up before they come." Then I asked him, "This is how you do it here?" That yes, you just get a girl that when has gone to fetch water. Then if she accepts, you just enter. You just get a cover in the bush. Then I asked him, "What if they get you?" He told me, if they get you, sometimes they beat you, sometimes they forgive you.
And how old was that boy?
That boy was around 14, just a young boy.
I wanted to ride
that was a very good experience. I mean,
And I told him, okay, if they beat you, do it again, that, yeah, you can do it again. And I was like, I just looked at it. I just felt that this, for him, he never thought of the effects. I asked him, what if he impregnate me? Told me, then it's okay. I told him, now for you, I'm going to abort your kid. He told me, I will kill you. Now just imagine a boy of 14 years.
And that's
Thinking that is already a man. And by the way, boys don't know their rules. They don't know their whatever. It's not rules, but they don't know their rights. First of all, they think they cannot be defiled. They think these sexual things cannot affect them. It is for girls. Then I will impregnate her, I will run away.
What about HIV?
Well,
and
that is
all the sexual transmitted diseases?
They don't think about
and
it,
all
by
that.
the way.
Well,
Because-
you said that it seemed normal. So this gets back to the discipline we talked about earlier on. If the parental guidance is not enough to keep these boys out of danger, it will probably continue to affect them. Yeah?
Actually, to me, even the parents should involve boys always, even in this domestic works, just to keep them busy. So they don't get exposed to
But
other
little I've
behaviors.
seen, it's normal for a boy to wash utensils. Even me growing up, we used to do it. I don't know if in other
To a lesser extent, actually, to give more flex or energy to our point is you see, Simon, in Madi sub-region, our parents have failed to raise boys in a very proper way. We've been raised to be gentlemen. We've been raised to swell and feel ourselves, and we are men. You see, that's why they say agoniago, which is misleading. You see, the best way to attack this as a solution is raise your children without gender work. There has to be no gender work. Don't say kitchen work is for girls and rearing the goat is for boys. Let there not be gender work. Boys can go to the garden, girls can go to the garden, boys can go to the kitchen, girls can even slash. Look at your children the same way. Because now, I can tell you, there are grown men in the families with successful marriages, but wait when their wives get sick. They'll panic, run up and down, look for their sisters to come and
they
cook
can't
for
even
them.
boil water.
They can't. That is where our culture has failed us, because as Madi culture we look at girls to be doing kitchen work, and then boys dealing with cleaning the compound, slashing, taking care of animals and that. But the generation now must accept that there has to be no gender work. I know how to cook. I can even cook for my girlfriend. I'll be like, do it more. It's very rare. That happens on a rare aspect. So, as a solution to add up to our point is that we don't need to look at girls in a different way and boys in a different way. Let us give them the equal rights. And to even the government and NGOs who are going to watch this, please look for avenues of creating projects that will target both girls and boys. Don't only look at girls only and boys only. There has to be equality, looking at how we can all elevate this and see the performances better.
Okay.
Actually, to add on his point about the culture and this muddy word, ago. This ago has made our boys in muddy to just grow up as a rough guy. Let me tell you, even if he's approaching you, that's how they're stopping you. Come on.
With all the command that I don't
it.
care attitude.
And even if they are dating you, there's the way that they have those commands.
You can't question him.
You can't question him. And even that's why most of them don't have works. They cannot work in other organizations, by the way, because you cannot come with that swelling behavior of yours with your commands, and you come and command someone in his office. Mari ale office na yako, ale meza na yako anyetora.
Well, I think the bottom line has been the equal opportunities that should be given to the boys, and the element of constantly checking on their, work performance, not only at home but also back in school, will be far better. So that this is the type of son I have, and this is how I need to help this person. Okay.
And one point that I wanted to, before you conclude, is that goes to parents and then even to the schools. In parenting, we've forgotten how to do sex education. This also helps to improve their performances, because as a girl, if you know your body, and as a man, if you know your body, like a boy, if you know your body very well, you will know how to protect yourself and even protect the person you're dating, because we can't avoid this. There's always going to be a relationship in a certain level, from, let's say, high school. There is always going to be there. But if you're educated well about your body, you know how to protect yourself, you know how to protect your partner, and this will all help you to, project your interest in life and look at directions that will lead you to getting better performances and will take you to places. I think that's what I can say lastly.
I don't know. Okay, mine goes to the boys. Boys, they like that method. That method in teaching, they say it is discovery method. Boys love that discovery method. They don't want this method of telling them what you are doing is wrong, you do correction. They think if you tell them what you are doing is wrong, as if the height is going to reduce, all the testicles will go off because they have told him this is wrong. They don't like it at all.
I would love to sound that again. That sounded good.
They have to. For them, they love that discovery thing. They want to discover their things by
Try
the
and
way.
discover.
That is it.
Yes.
They don't want to be taught.
Yeah.
But if they accept that it's normal for someone to teach you, or it's okay, they say mistake is what? Mistake is common.
Yes.
Yeah? Or people say it's human. So you accept that I can do a mistake and it will be corrected. So let them accept the correction they give them and the mistakes they do. They shouldn't get rude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True. Well, thank you so much. I think due to time, we would love to stop it here. But it's been a very serious conversation. I want to appreciate all of you for taking your time despite the busy schedule. And for you viewing this, we shall be running this on our pages, on our social media handles, on our Twitter, on our YouTube, and as well on TikTok, which the account I think should be starting by this week. So you should check out on some of the clips on our TikTok, page. Well, thank you so much. It's been me, Simon Living, your host. Ciao, adios.
Blessings.